Hello friends, neighbors, John your Whiskey Neighbor here. Welcome down the Nook. And I am behind on my advent calendar. So I'm going to open up 4 doors today because I'm 4 days behind. This is a beautiful calendar that came from Sons of Vancouver. And it's got some liqueurs, it's got some whiskeys. I'm just going to open them with you. First thoughts, first tastes. And it's just a fun way to count down into Christmas. So I'm just going to jump right in. 3, 4. Back on the 18th, what I would have pulled out here is, cream whiskey liqueur, 15%. So I'll give you a taste of this. Now I will say, if I have cream liqueurs, it's usually mixed with something. I don't usually have an after dinner, just a cream liqueur nip. So take this for what it is. Cream liqueur, nose and taste. Sweet and creamy. On the palate, cheers. Lovely. And a really nice way to kind of ease into the next day in the calendar. I will say where I am right now, it's minus 35 before wind chill. It's about minus 31 Fahrenheit. So it's nasty cold. My car broke down today. All kinds of typical winter things. So on the 19th, I have a delicious blended whiskey. Well, I guess we'll find out. No, what a nice name for a whiskey. It doesn't tell me whether it's corn whiskey, a rye whiskey. I know to be a whiskey here in Canada, it's minimum 3 years. This one's released at 58%, so it's a strong whiskey. Let's find out if a delicious whiskey is a delicious whiskey. I don't know if you guys are tuning in for the first time or not. This has been a fun journey with Sons of Vancouver. I tend to appreciate their ryes, and they're often a very creative expression. A delicious whiskey, nose and taste. That would be, obviously coming off cream liqueur, there's no comparisons here. I've got a little bit of spice, a little bit of oaks. It's strong. No, it's 58%, so that makes sense. But by that, I mean, it is actually giving me a fair amount of alcohol, Bloom. A little bit of floral note in there, but really right now, I'm getting a fair amount. Maybe after a little sip, I'll acclimatize. So, cheers. That could have been clearing out my palate because I went into this now. I just realized because this was so mild, I didn't clear. I need to take just to clear it for a second. Let's try that taste again because it actually did a really nice mix with the cream liqueur. I need a clearer palate to give you an idea. Okay, much better. Now I'm getting a really nice, almost a peanut butter note that's coming in. For me, that's coming from some casking, some oaking. There is spicing. It's a little bit, not bitter, but it's savory in the palate, which I liked, especially because I was coming from something so sweet. It was a really neat mix, actually, when they met in the middle. But now a much more traditional whiskey with better oaks or more oaks. And I would say a little more savory profile. Interesting. Okay, palate clear. On to day 20. Day 20, I would have pulled out, this is the Mezcal Barrel Rye. I was talking last week with Dolph. He's president of the Alberta Scotch Society. It's, yeah. Now I'm just going to butcher it. But it is a Mezcal Barrel Rye at 57.3%. So now I'm very curious to see what I get off this, because I've had some mezcal finishes. Oaxacan, sorry for that. I do apologize. But I want to know what this mezcal kind of has an effect on their rye. Yeah, I like that note. I would definitely get what I'm starting to associate with mezcal. I'm not a big mezcal drinker, but I've got a little bit of green, a little bit of roast, a little bit of vegetable, more vegetable, herbal. Did Dolph say celery? But something like that, like a little bit of, yeah, and it's also floral. Let's try it on the palate. Cheers. Okay, for me, in the palate, it's actually a little overwhelmed with mezcal. I was hoping for a subtler treatment on that because I really like their rye character. It's there, but in the palate, this is very much what I would associate with mezcal. All of that. Yes, there's char. Yes, there's some roasting notes, but it's very herbaceous, vegetable, green leaf, green pine. I'm trying to get at some other flavors if you're not a mezcal drinker, but it's a little heavy-handed for me in the casking. Just too bad because there's a very affordable Dewar's 8-year smooth series that's mezcal treated, and it's just a light finish on an 8-year-old Scotch, and I like that. This, it's always just first thoughts. I'd want to come back to it, but first thoughts, the palate isn't as good. In fact, I was expecting to love it because I like rye. This, a delicious whiskey right now, is standing up. Final one for the night, day 22. Better pull the right one. I am doing them in order because that's the kind of person I am. So this one is Candy Cane Whiskey Liqueur. Candy Cane Whiskey Liqueur. Ooh, there's a little candy cane suspended in there. That's interesting. I think it's 40%. Yep, 40%. So we'll give that a try. Move over so you can see it. So other ones out here, we started kind of in a nice order. Cream liqueur, only 15%, very easy, creamy drinking. A delicious whiskey, I don't know what it is, 58%. Right now, that's holding my interest. This one is a mezcal finished barreled rye, 57.3. Little heavy-handed on the finish. And this one right now is Candy Cane Liqueur. Nose and palate. It's just sweet, but it's expecting a bit more peppermint. Like, mint. Oh, sweet nose. Let's try it on the palate. Cheers. So the aromatics didn't get me there, but the palate, nice and sweet, and definitely some candy cane. It's not overwhelmingly peppermint, but sweet, and there's a little bit of mint in there kicking around, and it's nice. It's nice and easy drinking, especially coming off of this. So sorry to rush a little bit, but I'm behind, and I knew that 4 days, and even though I'm only having a quarter of each one of these would be considered one drink, it's still a fair amount to try to sit down and talk through 4 alcoholic drinks with you guys. So I hope you're well. I hope you're warm. If you're anywhere near me, you must be inside, and I hope you're helping those that aren't inside get inside. And if you see someone stranded, I wasn't stranded. I was stranded at my house. My car didn't start today, and my boss graciously picked me up, took me to work, and took me home again at the end of the day. So that's fantastic. I hope to repay the favor by being a good citizen to my neighbor as I can. And I just hope you're well. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you. Boy, there's 3 days left to Christmas Eve. I'll try to get it in. Thanks. Take care.